Okay, so we're going to continue talking about health in pregnancy because, yeah, it's that important. If you're interested in sticking around to continue with me on my series about how to prepare for birth from a Christian doula perspective, then stick around. Hi, everyone. My name is Leslie. I'm a disciple, wife, mom, and childbirth doula, and this is where I share about all things birth, faith, and family. We're going to jump right in, continue on talking about how to prepare for birth. Now, I shared with y'all in the last video. If you haven't checked that out, I'll link it here. In video number 1, we shared about how important healing is for this process. And I talked so much about mental, emotional, healing and spiritual preparation in that way. Today, I want to talk about physical preparation, physical health preparation for birth. Okay, it's really simple. I hope you get something out of this that might be a tad bit new, but it's very simple. We're going to focus on the top 3 things: water, nutrition, and movement. Okay, let's just talk about each of these for a second. Okay, so number 1, water. Pretty simple. Okay, the recommendation is that you should have your weight in ounces in water per day. At least that's what I was once told. But what I really like is the gallon bottles, or you can fill up like a whole gallon of water and it tells you kind of like where you should be at what time of the day. This has really helped me with consumption of water. I also have a lot of clients who like liquid IV and use that and have found that very hydrating. I myself am a very big fan of coconut water, so that helps me to keep chugging throughout the day. But water is so important. Sometimes you can even have like early onset of like feeling like you're having contractions and things like that because you are dehydrated, because you need water. And so I highly recommend, and your provider will advise you to make sure that you're staying up on water. Now, I want to preface the rest of this message and what I just said by saying that I am not a medical professional. All of this is simply informational that I'm sharing, and you should discuss anything with your provider. So full disclaimer there, okay? But I want to talk to you guys about number 2, which is movement, okay? Now, I am a mom of 4, so honestly, past baby number 1, like it was really hard for me to get in the kind of movement that I was getting in with baby number 1, okay? And so what are we looking at here? I mean, it is as simple as walking. I think that's really where I get the most of my movement, the more and more babies I have. But if you are looking for like a more formal like workout program that kind of follows you along week to week, I highly recommend the Body Ready method. They have a pregnancy and postpartum workout plan, and they follow you week by week, offering you a myriad of really intentional workouts. They're not like going to be super heavy and strenuous on you. I've found that they're very intentional and very specific. The moves that you're doing in that program are actually helping you to access different movements that would be beneficial during labor. And so that is why I highly recommend Body Ready Method. I will link them down below. I have a 15% coupon code. I think it's 10% off. It's my affiliate link. I will leave that down below in case you're interested, okay? And also something that you have to keep in mind is that if you are like, let's say like, if you are a horseback rider or a skier or a weightlifter, something like that, and you do high intensity workouts to begin with, right? One thing the reason why I like Body Ready Method so much is because sometimes there are things that sometimes things that you don't even know you're doing that can actually create more tension in your body, specifically your pelvic floor. So consider a pelvic floor therapist, especially if you are attempting a VBAC. I think that a pelvic floor therapist is great. If you have had previous births where maybe you experienced a lot of tearing or any diastasis recti, the separation of the abs, or anything like that, I do recommend seeing a pelvic floor therapist to kind of help you with that in advance during pregnancy. Also, I recommend a Webster certified chiropractor. Like, let me just tell you, for my 3rd pregnancy, we were moving to a different state, like moving from apartment to a house, like buying our first home, like had 2 under 2. Like it was just a very crazy busy time. And let me just tell you that this is where I believe that I did the least amount of movement, unless you consider packing up your whole house and unpacking it, a lot of movement. But really, it felt like not enough of that kind of movement that I was looking to do that I knew would be helpful for birth. But what I did do by the time I was finally unpacked and settled in my home and felt comfortable was for that last month and a half, maybe 2 months before I gave birth. Yes, I gave birth in March, end of March, starting in January through February, I went to a chiropractor. I went to a Webster certified chiropractor about every week or every other week. And this really helped. I truly believe that this is what was like keeping me feeling like, man, I'm ready to have this child at 37, 38 weeks. Were these visits. I highly recommend finding a Webster certified chiropractor. This was so helpful for like really helping me get in maybe some things that I would have maybe naturally gotten in through some movement that I wasn't doing in my own time. A nice chiropractor adjustment really, really helped. So I do recommend that. Then the third piece is nutrition. Okay. So for nutrition, I think that there's a lot of stuff out there, and I'm not going to say that I'm like the most well versed on like all the nutritional things that are out there in terms of what you can do during pregnancy. But I am telling you based on my experience and based on the work that I've done with my clients over the past 9 years, that I've kind of narrowed it down to just a couple things. Okay. So for example, prenatal vitamins, to do them or not, I don't know. That's up to you where you stand on that. However, I do think that it is important to figure out where you're getting, if you choose not to take a prenatal vitamin, where it is that you're getting those nutrients from, because a lot of our food is nutrient deficient. And so you want to make sure that you are getting the nutrition that your body and your baby need in whatever form. I know people who do a lot of just like getting it in through the foods that they eat, which is awesome. I have been through a lot of different prenatals, but I personally identified most and felt the best when I took Mega Food Baby and Me. It's Mega Food is the brand, Baby and Me Too prenatal. Why I liked this vitamin is because if you've ever taken vitamins regularly, like you will know that it's, at least in my experience, I'm like, wow, my body's really not absorbing that many if it's literally coming out in my pee. Like if your pee is that bright orange color and that's literally like, that's the vitamin. So did your body really even absorb the stuff that you took in, right? Like, I'm not saying I'm an expert on this. So if anybody has any insight on this, please share it down in the comments. But that's what I found with all the vitamins I took, except for Mega Food, Baby and Me Too prenatal. I took this and I never got nauseous. I never had any of those potential other symptoms that sometimes people have around their prenatals. It's food based. It's very clean. And that has been my personal experience with it. And that's why I've used it. I used it for my last 2 babies. And that has been the most successful for me. I'm sharing that with you. Do with it what you will. If you have one that you have really, really liked, please feel free to share it down below. I'm sure it would be helpful to others. In terms of food that you're eating, right? I would say the biggest thing is to just limit your sugar. In my personal experience, that's been the most beneficial to me. That is what's helped me have the most energy. That's also what's helped, it's not to say you completely say you can't have sugar at all, but we all know that sugar's not that great for you. I'm talking about the artificial stuff that's, it's not that great for you. So if you're feeling like you need sweet stuff, I would say go with fruits, veggies, meats, probiotics, yogurts, kefirs, sauerkraut, all of that stuff builds a really strong gut flora, which is so good for baby and so good for when you give birth, to have baby come through the birth canal and get all of that good bacteria from you that will help your baby have a stronger immune system. So figure out kind of like what probiotics you do like to take. Again, I really like these in the natural food forms that they come in, but if not, I know that this is also a supplement that you can add on. But yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha, all of these things. Kombucha sometimes gets a mixed review because of the ginger, but I really liked it and I took it through most of my pregnancies. But again, probiotics, that good, healthy it helps build a good, healthy gut. That's really important. Another big thing that comes up in terms of nutrition is iron. Okay. So iron, because when your iron levels are low, this is something that they're watching for in your blood work, is that if it's low, then they may want to put you on like injections. There may be there's a concern about how much blood you lose during birth, and so that's why they really want to make sure that your iron is in good level before you go into labor. Sometimes this is even something that'll cause you to like not be able to, let's say, do a home birth or do a birth center birth. So making sure you are in a healthy level to which your provider feels comfortable continuing to extend their birth services, then, you know, in that case, you know, you want to make sure you're being cognizant of your iron levels. Iron also so much helps with your energy levels. So I just think it's kind of interesting because it's like when you're deficient of it, you feel it, and it's not fun. So then I just start thinking, man, Lord, you really did design it for us to like know in our body something's wrong. Like now we know, hey, it means your iron level's low. You know, some red meat might be good or something like that, right? But now that we specifically know and can just test your blood and say, oh yeah, it's your iron, what comes with deficiencies is that you feel different and you feel things in your body. So if you're not feeling well, figuring out what that is important and can help you to kind of guide you in this journey of being physically healthy during your birth. Floradex is my recommended liquid iron recommendation. My midwife also shared with me an iron like anemia prevention brewed tea recipe, and I've used it. I've had clients who've used it. It doesn't taste the best, but I've had clients who really liked it, and it's had really good results. Like all the clients that I know have used it have upped their iron levels. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, I'm happy to share that. Again, not medical advice, just sharing general information here that in the case that you'd like to consider it. But I know that iron is often a thing. Big thing with iron is that absorption can be really hard. So taking it with vitamin C can help increase the absorption. So taking Floradex, I normally take it with a cup of orange juice, a little bit of orange juice, or I'll squeeze a lime into it or something like that. And I'll take it 30 minutes to an hour before I'm having a meal. So the best thing to do is to not take it with food, is to take it before food. So your body is like fully digested, whatever it's eating, whatever you ate before, so that it helps with your body absorbing more of the iron. And I'm going to end with just these three things that I hope are also helpful in terms of nutrition. Would be just three things, for example. And there's so many out there. So I would say you can go as deep into this as you'd like, but I want to share with you just three that I've had that I've really liked and found success with clients over time. One, pomegranates. Pomegranates are great for antioxidants, vitamin C, and folate, right? Which supports overall health and fetal development, okay? Pineapples provide, again, vitamin C, fiber, antioxidants. It also has a bromelain enzyme that can help with digestion and inflammation. So pineapples they also helps with hydration. It's a great sweet fruit to have during pregnancy. There are some people that say that it helps with induction of labor. Again, I drank pineapple. I had pineapple, like not religiously during any of my pregnancies, but again, I'll be honest, I've never seen it induce labor in any of my clients who've like tried, who have added it to their list of things to try for natural induction. Babies come when babies want to come. So I haven't personally seen it do that. However, I'm about to tell you about one thing that I have seen really help out, and that's dates. Dates is something that I have religiously taken during my pregnancies, especially in the third trimester. And one, I love that you just like throw it in with like a cup of milk and some ice, and you can have yourself like, it literally tastes like, if you have a really good blender, and it can taste like as close to a little, you could even probably put some vanilla extract in it, and it tastes like as good as any vanilla milkshake would taste. So delicious, naturally sweetened with dates. They are considered really good. I mean, studies show that they actually help to soften your cervix, and that they suggest that they can contribute to a shorter labor. So like, what's not to love about that, right? Man, I saved that one all the way till the end. So props to all you who watched this video till the end, because you got that little nugget. But honestly, I'm probably not the first and will not be the last person to share that. Take your dates. Okay, with that, I hope that this video has been helpful to share with you just a little bit of nutrition basics for pregnancy. This is just, health is so important. This is why I think it is, in my mind, it is the first step to preparing for the rest of your pregnancy, for your birth and during pregnancy, even before. Health is number one. Health, healing, not just from yes, emotional, yes, mental, yes, all the stuff, but also physically. It is very important. And there's so much that is in our hands to be able to help with and do. And like, praise God that he helps us, right? The word says that we are his temple, right? So we should take care of it as such. We really should take care of our bodies. It is so important, because here's the thing is, you're being drained of so many, your body's being used to provide nutrients for your child, and you can feel like you're being drained if you're not supplementing enough, if you're not getting enough in of what you need in order to sustain growing a whole nother life. Okay. And you, just like they say, you need to put on your own mask before you can help your neighbor on a plane. This is the same thing. You need to be able to take care of your own health in order to be able to help the health of your baby, in order to bring in a healthy baby into this world. And so it is very important. It will, I won't dive into any more of that. I've made this video long enough. I will leave you guys until the next one. I hope that this is helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up. Share this with somebody who you think it might be helpful to. And let me know below if there's anything health-wise that you'd like to hear more of. And I would be happy to dive further into it, right? Like, I think I have a video on gestational diabetes and a whole bunch of other things. But if you guys wanted to speak about, if you wanted to hear me share about all of that stuff, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'd be happy to. Next week, we'll be diving into the next step of how to prepare for birth. So I hope I'll see you in that one. Take care. God bless you and be well. Bye.